Look, thanks a lot, Deputy President. I mean, seriously, I'm not sure what I was listening to this afternoon just before then by Senator Reynolds, but being here next to the Finance Minister, I know she's one of the finest ministers that we have had in a generation, working alongside one of the best treasurers this country has ever had. And I say that because when I do look at the financial position of this country, the very fact that this government, since coming into office back in 2022, has delivered not one but two budget surpluses, and it looks like to be on track for another. And I say that because our budget position has been sound. We've delivered budget surpluses, but guess how many budget surpluses the previous government delivered? Just guess how many. And I'll tell you a little secret. It doesn't have a number because it's a big fat zero. For the decade that they were in government, racking up the enormous amount of debt, over $1 trillion that the Commonwealth now has to service, that's right, $1 trillion of debt under a Liberal national government, the so-called economic managers on that side of the chamber. But when Labor is in government, as we are currently, and when we were last in government, having one of the world's best treasurers, remember Wayne Swan? Remember Wayne Swan? The IMF and others applauded the fact on how Australia conducted itself around the world as being one of the most fiscally responsible governments around the world and was awarded the best treasurer of the world. And I say that with a very good colleague of mine, Senator Gallagher, here today, who has the world on her shoulders, the country on her shoulders, about ensuring that the economy of this country remains stable, is able to function, does not go into recession, unlike those opposite, who every single week that come into this place advocate for this country to go into recession, absolutely want to smash small businesses, want to make sure that the working class, the workers of this country, their wages go backwards, because not once when they were in government did they advocate to increase the basic wages of working men and women of this country. But the very first act that the Albanese Labor government took when it first came into government was to put a submission to the Fair Work Commission and advocate the increase of wages for those who are on the minimum wages, the awards of this country. And guess what? The Commission agreed. And we have seen time and time again in the last couple of years increases into the wages, which is now filtering through our economy, which is supporting many men and women and their families who are on some of the lowest and middle incomes of this economy and around the country. Now, I also just want to acknowledge the report by COSBOA. And it's important to look at what this government has actually been able to do. And I say this from the outset, like we have over 5.5 million small businesses, and they are the engine room of our economy. They are the heart of many economies around the country, many local communities, those in regional Australia that I visit on multiple occasions while I'm not here in Canberra, and they employ millions of Australians, very hard-working Australians. But there are some things that I just want to run through because the government has been supporting and providing assistance to these 5.5 million small businesses. In our most recent budget, we have provided over $640 million in practical and targeted support. We've given small businesses a tax cut in the last financial year through the $20,000 instant asset write-off. We've also extended for a further year with legislation before this place right now to provide small businesses with confidence and certainty to invest. And this is equivalent to an estimated $290 million of support each year. We are abolishing 457 tariffs in the largest unilateral tariff reform in 2 decades. We've updated the Commonwealth procurement rules, and small businesses are getting a big slice of the $70 billion in contracts the Australian government spends each and every year, with a target of 25%. And our government is investing more than $60 million to help small businesses lift their cybersecurity and digital capabilities. The very fact is This government, federal Labor, is on the side of workers. It's on the side of small businesses, unlike those opposite who always are against the working class.
Thank you, Senator.